Oh, yeah. What's up, Wompsters? It's raining cats and dogs up in here, but we womp it up. The jams womp it up, cause I'm gonna get my tankini out, get my bits and pieces out, and get some... What are my bits
There's not
and
even
pieces?
a theme. Usually you have some sort of a theme. Like, stick with it's raining. You know?
I pictured myself putting on my tankini and
like
just
going
letting
out into the
rain,
water, like a splish and splash
that's
situation.
Right, that's right, and letting the rain come down on me. But I don't know.
Let's do it again.
I didn't. Okay, we'll give it a shot. Hey, did we book anybody or what?
Yeah, he's here.
Where?
Oh,
Hi.
sorry. Just
Oh my
raise
God.
raise up on your chair there.
Oh,
Sorry,
God.
I apologize. Hi.
Who
Hi.
is?
This is Tyler Vibe.
Hi, guys.
He's a new
If it's okay, it's Mr. Vibe. Just to, I know it's weird, but
Oh,
just
but I
Mr.
can call
Vibe?
you Tyler.
you can call me Tyler, but I'd kind of rather you call me Mr. Vibe, because just so the kids can get in the habit of it a little bit more. My students could, if they would,
Got it.
If they would call me Mr. Vibe or even just Mr. V, it would kind of help me sort of maintain a certain amount of decorum.
Sure. So this is Mr. Vibe. He's the newest English teacher, and he used to go here.
What?
Yeah.
When did you go here?
About 4 years ago, I went and got my bachelor's.
No, you
and then
didn't.
came back. No, you don't remember me? We were
No.
we had
I remember. I like literally remember every single person at the school.
we had health together and
Wait,
and
no, we
bio,
didn't. What?
Chem,
No.
yoga.
Really? This was before I went to the STARS program. We were in class together.
AP history.
We had
for a
like
little bit, for like a
AP.
week. For like a week, then you were not there anymore.
That was when I got. Yeah, when I got brought down to the STARS program. That's
Brought up
crazy.
to the STARS program.
We were literally, that seems like every single one of my classes.
Yeah, I think you're
And
older
Vibe
than
and
me.
Wompler, we were sat next to each other.
Yeah,
we would have
were
sat next to each other.
Yeah, I was usually about a row ahead of you. Maybe that's it. If I turn around, is that
Yes,
okay?
yes, okay.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
usually a row ahead
I
of you, and you would you do that thing where you'd lick your hand and smack the back of my neck.
Did I do that?
Which doesn't really have a name. It's
Should
not
have
quite,
a
it's not
name.
quite a wet willy. It just
Yeah.
hurts.
Yeah.
But you'd like it. I guess if you lick your hand, it's hard. It hurts. It stings more.
Like a whack and smack.
Yeah,
whack
like a
and smack
whack
would be a
and
great
smack.
name for it. Yeah.
And then you moved one up from me, and we left an empty chair between us. Is that right?
That's correct. yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, now
okay.
all
It's
coming
the back
to
of your
you.
neck that I remember.
Yeah, I thought it might.
something about you just drove me crazy.
Yeah, I
it
don't
just
know why
made
that
me
was.
want to just
Strike
like
me
just
for
strike
no
you.
reason. Yeah.
Yes,
Not
okay.
good.
Tyler Vibe. And also I remember thinking, because this is all coming back to me now, I remember thinking, how does a guy this annoying have essentially a porn star's name? Like you would think like the next installment from Tyler Vibe.
Well,
like,
it's probably, if you go all the way back, it's Vibe.
Oh, it's French. Swiss?
Italian. We were, a lot of my records, a lot of my like Ancestry.com just said we got nothing. They weren't
Really?
able to help me out at all. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. The family hasn't
It's
left
as
that
if
much of an
you didn't
impression.
exist.
Yeah. It's
It's
kind
as
of
if
Put in
you
birth
did
dates
so
and
it's,
lots of
it's
things come up.
Vibe or Vibe. Might be vibrato if you go all the way back. It might have been changed at Ellis Island. We'll
I
never
wonder
know.
if your name is really your last name, or if
It's-
it was a given, if it was like a change that
And
your parents
anybody's
made.
guess. The kids, obviously, there's a lot of the students and a couple of my fellow teachers have called me Mr. Vibrator. But
yeah, because the Vibe
right,
is
it's right there.
a dildo, right? That's like a famous dildo.
it is a brand.
It's a brand.
It is an actual brand of dildo.
Okay.
You are correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But does it vibrate too, or is it
Well,
just
obviously,
a dildo?
yeah. No, I mean, it would be poor
It's a
branding
vibrator.
if it didn't. Yeah.
Okay.
It does.
And
Because
you
a dildo and a vibrator are very different
very
things.
different things.
This is sort of a 2-in-1 product. I think it's quite expensive, and yeah. So it's
All right.
Well, you're back teaching.
yeah.
And I'm interested
toughest job you'll ever love.
Yeah, I bet. I'm interested to see,
You look like you've already
while you're back.
been destroyed by the
Yeah.
student body. I mean, I know your
We're
first
not yet
year
to Christmas. We
your
are
first
not
year
yet to
is
Christmas.
the hardest. Like you're
It's
a first
been
year
challenging.
teacher.
You know, I the kids are
Your voice
interesting.
just got real high.
It does that, and I, that's been remarked upon by other people that my voice gets really high when I'm anxious or scared or happy.
And you're anxious and scared most of the time.
A
Is that-
lot, yeah.
Oh,
it comes
that
up a
hurts.
lot, yeah.
Sam, can you turn those levels down for me? Because that's just tough stuff.
Sure, is this better?
Let me hear you.
It's kind of, I guess, it's still
like
pretty
nothing-
up there.
I don't think it's
You're
actually
down as
the
low
frequency.
as you can go, and I get that.
It's the
I get that.
frequency.
the
It's where the
frequency.
note is hitting. It's not have to do
I'm
with
going
the board.
grab a phone book to sit on a little bit.
Sure, we can put you up there.
Here, just pull off some of those encyclopedias over there.
Oh, perfect.
It's like having Rumpelstiltskin on as a guest. This guy is like a little tiny hobbit person.
I'm 5'1" is a little below average for the American male. I'll grant you.
Very below
It's
average.
a little, but people are getting smaller.
And are those an orthopedic shoe
they
you're
age,
wearing, or
or-
did you put
One
lifts
is, one
in there?
isn't.
Oh, no, you had to even it out.
Yeah.
Have you ever stolen a baby?
No, I mean, I like to think I
Why'd you
engage
pause?
because it's sort of a metaphor, and that's sort of my trade is have I stolen the attention of my students in the heart of a discussion? No, not yet.
Not yet.
But I want to, and that is in a way of
Your
that is
favorite film is the
Dead
one
Poets Society.
Yeah, it's why I got a Blu-ray player, which, by the way, I would like back. If anyone's listening.
Someone took it from your classroom.
Yeah.
And that's weird because, like, no one's watching Blu-rays anymore.
No,
so
that
they
was
just did that to
clearly
be
for
mean to
spite.
you.
I think it was just for spite. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's not right. Oh, and you know what else I heard? Wait, are you the class where you were going to show Dead Poets Society, but instead someone put on a porn?
Yeah, that's
And that
true.
was called what? Pumping Black Iron?
It was called Cunt for Red October,
Wow. Wow.
which was dated and weird, and it was
It was all sex in a
it was sex in a submarine. It was all sex in a submarine. And
But it was clearly filmed just in Van Nuys in a house, but they had like blacked out the windows.
Oh yeah, no, it was like a submarine because I watched. I
How
was
long
like,
did
it's on
it take?
anyway.
How long did it take for you to realize what was happening and to turn it off? Because
Well,
I mean, how
okay.
much
Well,
of,
what happened
how much
was-
of Cunt for Red October did people in your class see?
Well, I pushed play, and then I
Yeah.
had to run out because my IBS was acting up,
Oh,
and
'cause of
so
the
by the
anxieties.
time I got back, you understand. So by the time I got back, it had been playing for about 20 minutes.
Oh boy.
And they get right. There's not a lot of exposition in Cunt for Red
Well,
October.
there's not
You get
a lot
right
of
into
room
it.
on a sub.
A
You
lot
know,
of porn start with a sex scene.
It-
like
it
if
really-
they're worth their weight in sex.
It
You
hit
just
the
get right
ground
to it.
running.
Yeah.
It really hit the ground running.
Yeah. So
and you can't really have any people coming in and out of a sub. You know, you're in the sub. What
that's
else
what
are you going to
she
do?
said.
You know, it doesn't feel good when people do it to you.
Doesn't.
No.
I just want you to understand that.
It doesn't. It feels like you're taking the wind out of my sails.
My
Yeah.
students do that to me a lot. Yeah, that's
They
what
do a
she
lot
said.
of that's what she said.
Yeah, I
You
get that.
accidentally make, an allusion to sex, something that's a.
Sometimes, and if I'm trying to indicate to one of my 10th graders that I really empathize with them, I say, "Hey, I'm inside you," and they say, "That's what she said," and I go,
Who said?
"Wait, is she inside me? The she that you're talking about?" And then it becomes a very complicated discussion.
And
Yeah.
you're also diagramming those sentences.
I am.
too.
I have to figure out what the subject and and I'm the predicate in that. Basically,
What's the predicate? You know what else is really frustrating about you is that, and I've seen you do it now a couple times. You use your middle finger to point at
Yeah.
things, and
Yeah.
it's not like a fuck you or
No,
this
it's
is
just
how you point things.
No,
out.
I have some nerve damage in my index, so I got to use my middle for most of the things. So when I'm on the blackboard, I do, and my students take offense, and I wish they
Yeah.
wouldn't, because technically it is not always pointing towards them.
Yeah.
You know,
Right,
it's I'm pointing off to the I'm basically flipping off the blackboard, but they will take umbrage regardless.
Right.
And
What kind of things do they say to you?
well, they
when
will also
think-
they will in turn they will show me their middle fingers.
Oh, okay.
And
Do they ever tell you to fuck your own face or?
very common, very
Yeah.
frequently. I've been told to fuck my own face by, I think it's up to 15 this morning.
Yeah. Oh, this morning alone, because
Yeah.
you have a swear jar that I know you've been donating to the Red Cross, and it's got thousands of dollars
I
in
actually
it.
don't have that anymore. That has become
Okay.
untenable on a teacher's salary.
Okay.
I am
So
not.
you're putting
Wait,
a swear.
you're paying?
You're putting the money in instead of the kids.
Well, because it's essentially a failure of mine if my kids are swearing.
Oh God, no!
What happened to you as a child? Did you have a lot of injuries? Because I mean,
I
sounds
was
like
repeatedly smacked in the neck by someone who sat behind me in class.
oh,
Is that
and that's what caused the nerve damage
wait? Were
in
we
your
like
finger?
kindergarten on? Have we been together that long? Did you go to Franklin Elementary?
Yes.
Oh my God. This kid, I have done a tremendous amount of nerve damage to this kid.
The index thing was a defensive move I made one time, and we had these enormous Tinker toys in preschool.
Wait, was this when I threw a light bright at you?
Yes.
Oh.
And I put up my hand to
block
stop it, and
yourself?
I did, but it severed most of the tendons in my index finger. So
What
now
did
I
the
can only
Tinker
point
toys
with my
have to
middle
do with
fingers. She threw up the light bright and then swung with the Tinker toys.
Got
It was
it.
like she was playing t-ball with both.
Yeah.
And
Right
struck
at
my
you.
finger. And
I recently re-enrolled in preschool actually to go back, and I had unearthed some of those memories of the things I had done to kids like you, but I didn't remember you.
me, no.
Didn't
Maybe
remember
you should
the
say
face.
you're sorry.
I have to find.
Bygones be bygones. I mean, the past, I always like to say the past is a different country. They think they do things differently there. Right?
But
you
isn't
should-
it also prologue? Isn't it also kind of prologue, the past? It's kind of prologue, too.
I don't know what that
Isn't it,
means.
Marissa?
I
Isn't the
don't know
past
what
also
this
prologue?
This is why people slap him on the back of the neck.
I think maybe you owe him an apology
For what?
for all of your bad behavior.
I think he owes me an apology for being having a face like that I wanted to throw a light bright at.
No, that is not the first time I've heard that.
And you agree, right?
It's not that I agree, but
You see it.
Part
You
of being
can
an
hear-
English teacher is I hear everybody out.
That's right,
I
yeah.
want to open up the floor for discussion. And if a student says, Mr. V, if I'm
Yeah.
lucky, Mr. V, there is no chin. You have no chin.
That's
it goes
right.
nose
And
to
that-
Adam's apple, uninterrupted.
And-
I don't dismiss that. I want to hear that out.
And what you've done with your very well-defined beard to
Yeah.
try to give your face the semblance of an oval
Reminiscent
shape,
of Color Me Bad beard.
it is. All it's done is draws attention
to it, doesn't I know? Yeah, I can feel that. I got to do something.
Maybe we need to set some more clear boundaries
Or
because it
plastic
sounds like you're
surgery.
so worried about making everyone feel heard that they don't know where the line is, and they're clearly have gotten the signal to just walk all over you.
Well, I love teaching. It is the toughest job you're ever going to love.
You
And
just
I-
started,
you said that.
and you just started it.
I welcome input.
What do you love about it?
I love the sort of give and take that I get. Like
Seems like you
I
get
will
a-
give them the opportunity to watch a film, and they will put in a porn and then steal my Blu-ray player.
And you love that?
And I find it. There's a level of engagement. It's a step towards connecting with these kids, who are my kids, and I
Is it true
love
that
them.
they contacted your ex-wife over Facebook
that is true.
and got some compromising photos of you that they then put on the cover of their literary magazine?
Yeah, well, first off, I was very excited about the literary magazine this year because it had some very challenging poetry in
The
there.
Bandersnatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to say the photos of me with things inserted in me were not ideal. That was not what that's not how I wanted to start my teaching career. But things are so temporary nowadays,
But here's
I'm not
the
too
thing.
worried that that's going to come back to haunt me.
It went to press, and you are listed as the faculty advisor to
of
the Bandersnatch,
I
and
know.
it went to press.
I know.
I just want to commend you on number one.
Not censoring. Thank you.
That's not what I was going to say. Getting a literary magazine out to press before December, because that is, Unheard
That's
of.
the big picture here. Usually,
guess so,
the Bandersnatch usually doesn't come out till March or April.
Yes.
Because they go through faculty advisories
Yes.
very quick. But I had the stick-to-itiveness, and if the compromise is people see me with other things in
With
me,
an old El Paso jar shoved up your asshole.
What is inside you, Marissa?
how about that? How about that? What is inside you?
Nothing. A bunch of DiGiorno pizzas.
that.
Don't point that middle finger at me.
I can't wait to hear about this ex-wife because being a
Did you just
22-year-old
say
man.
wife?
Yes.
Wife? Like
She was my high school. I can't say sweetheart, but we.
knew each other in high school.
She was
Who was
here?
it? Who was
She
it?
went here?
Yeah, Nadia. Do you remember Nadia?
Oh my God,
Nadia,
that beautiful model that came from Russia?
Yeah, Nadia married me. I don't want to say for a green card. A green card was
100%
part
for
of
your
it.
She was like,
hey.
Ford Models snatched her up. She was the underwear model for in what's that?
La Perla.
Yes, for La Perla.
Wow.
How long were you married?
We were married for 18 months. And
That's a long time.
It was it was while I was getting my bachelor's, and one of the compromises with dating a woman of Russian extraction is that she will push your anus past places that you think it will go.
This is not.
She will challenge your anus.
I wish we learned this shit in history class, honestly.
She will find new compromises that you didn't know your anus was capable of.
And you did it so that you could keep her.
Yeah. I
She
did.
was the most beautiful woman
She
you'd
was the
ever
most
seen. She's one of the
beautiful
most
woman I've
beautiful
ever
women
seen.
You got to see her.
She was stunning.
Type Nadia.
No, I know Nadia.
You know Nadia.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
She just went by Nadia for professionally. Her I never really learned how
She's
to
one
pronounce
of the
her last name.
supermodels. She just signed on with some huge contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to see any of that money or?
Probably not.
Probably
No,
not.
not since the prenup. No.
Oh, she had to sign a prenup.
Yeah.
You met and got married so young.
Perhaps a little too young. Either way, yes, she was the one who was a little too eager to share the old El Paso photos.
Yeah.
I see.
God, you'd think she'd be thankful to you. I mean,
You would.
yeah, but
You
she
would.
hated you that much.
Well,
you drove her that crazy.
Sounds
Marriage
almost
is
like
hard.
a Bret Easton Ellis novel. or
Marriage is
something.
hard. It's
the hardest job you'll ever love.
It's the hardest job you'll ever. Well, second hardest job you'll ever love. First is still teaching, which I love. So yeah,
You don't
it's-
have to love it, man.
No,
you don't
it's
have to do
fine.
this.
It's a noble profession because you're not in it for the money. You're in it for shaping lives of the youth of Marina Del Rey.
We're going to take a break. We didn't get to hot topics, but that's okay.
I don't even think I told anybody what they were listening to.
You definitely didn't.
Okay, quick update.
You're gonna do it right
this
now?
This is called Womp It Up. It's
Okay.
a podcast. My name is Marissa Wompler. I don't know how old I am. I'm a member of the STARS program here at Marina Del Rey Public High School. That's my teacher, Charlotte Shardog Lister, former
Turn around.
sniper. And this is my senior podcast project. And we are interviewing our newest member of the faculty, Tyler Vibe, a man I've known apparently since birth and forgotten.
Watch you 3 seconds later.
We'll be right back.
Got you shaking your head, dancing instead of sitting. The rhymes kick, the beats hitting you just like a home run, slamming like a slam dunk.
Hey, Wompsters, have you ever had trouble finding the perfect present for someone?
Show your appreciation for anyone on your list by treating them to a gift from Mrs. Fields.
Because who doesn't love cookies?
Fields!
Mrs. Fields has made delicious treats for over 40 years.
So they know what they're doing.
From their signature chocolate chip cookies to handcrafted frosted favorites to melt in your mouth brownies, they are also delicious. Take our words for it.
Mrs. Fields' gourmet gift tins and baskets make the perfect present to surprise and delight anyone on your list this season.
At Mrs. Fields, their cookies and sweets are baked daily, so they always arrive fresh and flavorful.
Ordering is easy and they can ship your gift anywhere across the U.S.
Plus, you can add a personal touch with a custom message, company logo, or a family photo. How cute would that be?
Mrs. Fields even offers a 100% customer satisfaction guarantee.
This year, send a fresh-baked gift no one can resist. And they sent us a tin, and I swear...
It was gone in seconds.
Literally, it was as if a bunch of wild raccoons had gotten into it
That
and
is
just
what happened.
torn it limb from limb. They were so delicious, and I am going to get them for all of my business gifts.
Right now, get 20% off your order when you go to mrsfields.com and enter promo code WOMP.
That's 20% off any gift at mrsfields.com, promo code WOMP.
WOMP. mrsfield.com, promo code WOMP.
What's up, Wompsters? We live in the most beautiful city in the world, Marina Del Rey, but when we want to take a vacation, finding the perfect vacation home is hard.
You start off looking for a beach house big enough for 6 and wind up watching videos of surfing dogs. We've all been there.
VRBO does the hard work for you, matching you to the perfect place to stay for your getaway every single time.
Download the VRBO app and you'll discover everything from condos and cabins to villas and castles.
Whatever your budget and whatever you want from the home, maybe it's a garden or a grill or a massive private pool or a place that's kid and pooch friendly, VRBO's got you covered.
Weren't we just recently looking at a castle that was not that much?
Literally a castle
England?
that like Meghan Markle would live in. It was $400 a
It's a
night.
castle. I don't need a Markle sign off.
I just booked a VRBO with my dad. We're going to Mexico, and it's like a gorgeous colonial house for like $150 a night. It's ridiculous.
You'll love the VRBO app if you're all about ease and convenience.
And it's got great ratings in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store, and you can use it to browse and book dreamy vacation homes from just about anywhere.
It's also really useful while you're on vacation because you can send instant messages to the homeowner directly from the app.
So, this is what we want you to do. Download the VRBO app today and put an end to frustrating vacation searches and overpriced hotels.
Let VRBO find a home that matches you.
Welcome back to Womp It Up, where we're kicking it easy like Sunday morning over here. We've got a real life welcome back Cotter situation with our newest member of the faculty, Tyler Vibe.
Hi, guys.
We're calling Mr. Vibe or Mr. V at his behest.
Thank you very much.
That's right.
Thank you.
He is the English teacher here. He went to Marina Del Rey Public High School, and you went. How long were you gone before you came back again?
Just 4 years, just long enough to get bachelor's and certified.
So it was always your dream. You were always.
Was it?
Teaching is something that my mother was a teacher. Her mother was a teacher. As I said, we can't really go further back than that.
No, right.
My family history is kind of in.
What was your mother's name? And did she teach at Marina Del Rey?
She didn't teach here.
No, she taught at Venice where they shot Grease.
And what's her name?
Her name is Mrs. Vibe.
Mrs. Vibe. Okay.
Wait, not Shelley Vibe.
You know Shelley Vibe?
What do you mean everybody knows Shelley Vibe? She's like the coolest, most amazing teacher
People liked and enjoyed her classes.
I've ever. Yeah, they made.
Wait a
they
second.
made
No. This isn't
Yes.
the woman who did all the tie-dye
It's
classes.
kinda like-
She's
Yeah.
the one who used to teach Emily Dickinson with an acoustic guitar.
Yes,
Oh
and she
my
started
God.
the garden, the urban garden.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
her. Yeah,
That
was,
she
that was
had
my
like
mother.
West
no
Side
less
Food
than
Bank.
4 television pilots made about her life.
Are you kidding? Wait. She's the one that Michelle, who's the beautiful one who's married
Dangerous
to
Minds?
Dangerous Minds.
Michelle Pfeiffer. No, that's
There was some. She was a consultant on that film.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not directly
Okay.
based on her.
no, because that was a
was a different
Navy
thing, yeah.
SEAL
Yeah,
or
but Sandra
something.
Bullock has something optioned where she's going to play
Sandra
somebody.
Bullock has something
Shelley
optioned.
fucking
Emma
Vibe.
Stone has something optioned about her. Aquafina, which they'll figure
gonna
something
Hey,
out.
kudos on her new TV development deal.
That's
Yeah,
exciting.
she's got a few things. There's a bit of a
Crazy
bidding
rich Asian.
war, but I'm teaching and just to sort of honor the family tradition. And it's been good. It's been
That'd
exciting.
be a great guest to get. Is Shelley Vibe on this? Do you think your mom, could you pull some strings and get your mom on here? I know she's very busy.
She's really busy right now, is the thing. But I'll see what I can do.
Sam, can you lower the when he gets angry?
He
It's
can't. No,
even
he
hurtful.
can't lower. He can't change anything.
This doesn't feel good to me.
Are you trying to replicate a success from your past?
What?
Ah, Sam, please. Jesus Christ, my ears are bleeding.
I wouldn't say replicate. I'm trying to honor a tradition.
Right, but I
wouldn't say
okay,
replicate.
if
I mean,
I
we're
were
all
picking
individuals. We
any-
all have our own lives and our own dreams. Right?
But what is yours?
Mine is to shape lives
That's
as the
not
vibes have for.
True. No, that's
the
not
vibes
true.
have shaped lives for generation.
If you were like, let's say your mother wasn't your mother, okay, and you were as a baby given to another family and raised
Like a Moses situation.
Yeah,
Like a
basket
Moses
down the
in a
river.
basket.
What?
See, I always wonder what Moses' birth parents would have done with him. Mm-hmm. I always wonder, like, if he'd stayed.
Yeah, probably just end up a tax collector, you know?
Right? And is that so bad?
Well, no,
that
that's
so
not
bad?
Yeah, I mean,
Does everyone have to
successful
Does
in
everyone
their
have to be
lives?
successful
you
or
don't
leave
have
the
to-
Jews out of slavery? No, the people can also build pyramids or things.
Listen, everybody can do whatever it is that makes them happy. But what we're looking at right now, Mr.
Yeah,
Vibe, is
yeah,
somebody who
yeah.
you have your hair is falling out.
Uh-huh.
Now I have alopecia, and that's a different thing. But stress is making your hair fall out in clumps.
No,
There's
some
a
of it
clump-
is staying and turning gray. That is not fair.
You're how old? 23 years?
I'm 22. I'll be 23 in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
You're 23 years old. You have male pattern baldness caused by stress.
Mm-hmm. You've got
You've got
flaming
no
nerve
neck.
damage in your leg.
IBS.
You've got
the
IBS.
I have sort of there's a word for when it's not full-blown arthritis yet. It's sort of pre-arthritis
That's
in
inflammation.
my hip and my left elbow. And
You're going to have to get a hip replacement. You're divorced.
I have psoriasis.
That's right.
And I am
And a severe peanut allergy.
a pretty bad peanut allergy. That I've had since birth, in all fairness. That's
Wait a
always
second.
been-
Oh,
yes,
no.
you
And that's
remember
why
the
when I
sandwich
gave you
moment.
this-
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
And also, I mean, sometimes you feel like a nut.
That
Sometimes
was
you
you.
don't.
Yeah, that was me. That was you. That was, and I felt like a nut so much I spent the week at Cedar Sinai. Yeah.
I was
It
like,
almost seems like you have returned to the scene of the crime to punish yourself because you
or
think
to
that you're
fix
not
something.
you don't. That doesn't
or
work.
to correct history to a certain extent and share my love of literature with the open and eager minds at Marina Del Rey when they are not throwing ceramics at me.
How's that going for you?
They throw a lot of ceramics at me.
Where are they getting? So they're
They
going
bring them
to
from art
TJ Maxx
class.
home. Oh, they're making
They're
them.
making ceramics apparently expressly with the design too. There's something online. Apparently, they make the ceramics so they will be rather aerodynamic, and they have like little small piggy banks for stuff like that, and then they hurl them at me.
and they just explode.
They shatter.
And
Yeah,
is that-
if I'm lucky, they shatter. If I'm not lucky, they actually hit me.
So you've got ceramic shrapnel, essentially.
I mean, a cursory amount. We all have a little bit of ceramic in us.
I don't think we do. I really
some of
don't
it.
think
Some
we
of it
do.
did
Did
stick
that come
in
up
me.
on your 23andMe or your Ancestry.com?
No, again, they came back with. I just got a
2% ceramic.
blank. Nothing came
Yeah.
back from Ancestry. They refunded my money, which was
Did
generous.
you put enough spit in the vial?
I thought I did. I have.
Well, you
I have an
certainly
issue
have
with
enough
my
spit.
salad.
I wanted to bring that up. The first row of your class is bringing in tarps.
Yeah.
Like you would if you were sitting in the front
I
row
have
of
very-
Shamu at SeaWorld.
Listen, I have ASG. It is extremely
Active
salivary glands. Yeah,
Overactive.
And believe it or not, it's not overactive. There are people who have it worse, but it's a rare. It's a rare ailment.
Yeah, let me.
There aren't a lot of them. There aren't a lot of them in.
Yeah, that's a wet microphone.
it almost feels like there's a
There's not a lot of people in teaching with active salivary glands.
No.
A lot of them leave. A lot of them. There was one kid who called me Gallagher, and I was like, "Wow, that's a hell of a reference for a 15-year-old."
Right.
But kids in the internet these days.
Well, also, it feels like you've got what is like a child's water gun in the back of your throat. It's just squirting out, because it comes out, or like there's
like
No, it
that
comes
might-
out in a very steady stream.
In a
It isn't like
stream.
droplets. It comes
No,
out
like
in
in
a
a
very like it's like
Super soaker.
It's like a super soaker, basically, in the back of my tongue. There's several glands that act as projectiles, essentially.
Right.
And right where most of you probably have taste buds, I have these very active salivary glands.
Does anything trigger it? Curries
Stress,
or
anxiety, joy.
Joy.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are all tied up into one for you, I think.
They're all tied up into one thing, and they trigger the more aggressive salivating that I've been developing a bit of a reputation for.
All right. Well, we should do What's Cheesing You. This
Okay.
is a segment where we talk about what's,
This will
what's
be good for
on our backs,
Mr. Vibe.
what's bothering us,
Mr. Vibe, this is a safe space, okay? So I know you have to keep up a brave front for, your mom and for, yourself. But here is a time where you can really just let loose. If there's something pissing you off, like people throwing ceramic piggy banks at you.
No, it's fun to.
we want to
Is it
know.
my turn? Should I start?
What's cheesing you? What's cheesing you? What's cheesing you? What's cheesing you?
See,
What's
now
cheesing you? What?
he's experiencing
What's
some
cheesing you?
PTSD, Mr. Vibe? Mr. Vibe? Mr. Vibe, are you okay?
Can I get a new cover for the mic? I don't want to. We have an electric.
It is
There's an
dripping
electrical issue
down
right now
onto the
that I'm
carpet.
concerned
That's what they said in
about.
Cunt for Red October. That's what they said. So much more fun when you do it. It's not fun when other people do it to you. That's what she said.
Oh,
I can't stop killing it.
But now you're setting
I know.
yourself up with a joke and then saying that's what she said
I don't think-
afterwards.
Can you
Yes.
do that? I don't think
That's
that's,
not how
allowed.
it works.
That isn't how it works.
That's what they're teaching kids these days.
I am
is
not
to be
teaching kids that.
Self-reliant and
I'm not
self-starters.
self-reliance to a point, but setting up their own "that's what she said" jokes is not a thing I
No.
teach.
No.
Not in my curriculum.
Oh God. All right. So you want to go first, Mr. Vibe? What is cheesing you today?
By and large, I'm happy that the
can't
kids
be
are
true.
engaged and they're
In what? Their hatred of
interested.
you?
And
They're not. They're not engaged.
Apathy is a huge problem, and it really feels like I don't have that. There's no apathy in
true.
my class.
That's true.
They are
That's
aggressive.
true.
They're very passionate.
Would I
about
like my
hating
shoes
you.
back? Absolutely, I would like my shoes back. Absolutely.
Well,
but
they're
it's fun
custom-made
to be,
shoes, right?
They're
you
gotta
can't
be
just
expensive.
wear.
I
you
can't
just go to
get them. I
DSW.
can't just run down to Payless like some
can't
millionaire
run.
and grab. I can't run. I need one has to be 3 millimeters larger than the other one in terms of the sole, and obviously there's the extra toe, and so my shoes are very specific and particular, and I would like them back. That's actually more of a priority than the Blu-ray.
Now,
player,
what
'cause-
about the days that, because you wear one of your favorite shirts is a button down. It has stripes on the arms, and then a different pattern like polka dots in the panel. You like
Fun,
to do
right?
fun shirts,
It's a fun shirt.
but there's days where they all wear the same shirt. So they've all gone out and gotten, I don't know, on Amazon or what.
Yeah.
And you walk in
And they're
to
all
a
wearing
sea
my
of the
shirt.
Does that-
Flattering. It's flattering.
Is
It's
it?
nice. Yeah. It's nice. It feels.
It doesn't feel distracting. And they're the fact that they hate you so much that they would spend their own money on that and organize themselves.
But again, how many teachers have their classes slept through? No one sleeps through Mr. V's class.
That's true.
Nobody sleeps through Mr. V's class. We are an active and engaged bunch, and you can hear us all over Marina Del Rey.
That's true.
Is it true that one day you had to pile up desks like the set for Les Miserables because
I had
they
to make a
were
barricade
hurling
at one
so
point.
many
Yeah.
ceramic piggy banks at you?
It's great because as it happens, crazy coincidence, we were actually reading
Well, that's good.
Lord of the Flies, and it
I
sort
thought you were
of
gonna
was
say
able
Victor
to
Hugo.
we kind of were able to connect certain things
That they
about
were kind of rioting.
they were kind of kill the pig, spill his blood, and
I see.
and yes, as it happens, it looked more like Les Miserables in there, but literature is literature, and it's fun to connect.
All right. That's what's cheesing him. There's so much water running down your chin right now, or whatever you think your chin is or where it is. But get a rag.
I have a bunch of bibs, but they're in my trunk.
Or this adult man has to wear bibs. This is tough stuff.
How did Nadia break up with you?
Via text.
She just and what did the text say?
No more.
Did she speak in broken English?
Her English was secondary, which was always hard for me because I'm a bit of a stickler for grammar. But
That hard for her then, because what would you do? Correct her?
Yeah, a lot to help. I think that people want to learn and people want to be corrected if they're doing the wrong thing. I think, and so I was just trying to kind of engage and help her out a little bit. But then one day, I guess it just she lost interest and she wrote back. She just texted me, said no more.
And this was in college or post college?
This was my junior year of college. So I have been single for these 2 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you living together in an off-campus housing?
Yeah, we were off campus, and it was exciting.
Were you seeing her? Like, would she come in and out at different hours, or were you actually
she kept a pretty erratic schedule as a rule. So did I. Obviously, I had stuff to do. I was studying to be a teacher. Obviously, I had my student teaching, I had papers to write and stuff. But she kept very erratic hours.
Like sometimes you'd go weeks without seeing her.
It would be a while.
Because from her Instagram,
as English majors say, it would be a fortnight between. Yeah,
because I just did a little dig of her Instagram, which boy is she stunning. But in the time that you are saying that you guys were living together, lots of pictures of her in front of the Kremlin, and
on Dan Bilzerian's boat. Yeah, there was a lot of
way to get a green card, huh?
Yeah,
so
she likes to travel, which was one of the things that was really drew me to her.
Do you ever go anywhere together?
No, we never got around to it. No, we never got around to it. It's just schedules.
You're so busy.
Life gets in the way.
Yeah. Life gets in the way when you make another plan.
And when did you get married?
We got married right after high school.
So right before freshman year?
Right before freshman year. And the summers were hard because I had to work to pay for college, and she had to work obviously too, because we're both working professionals, and it was it was a 2-income household.
But she was making,
a lot of money, quite a lot, 6 figures, doing
a
lot
day.
Of things.
You know what I mean?
A lot of things, yeah.
Were there, other than the times of like the El Paso jar, were there other times of connection that you felt with her?
They weren't always as big as El Paso jars. That's obviously Marissa cited that because it's extreme.
It's on the front of the
literary magazine. If anyone wants to see it.
What was it called? The Badonkadonk?
The Bandersnatch.
Right.
From Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
The cover of the Bandersnatch is...
Is the Bandersnatch from Alice in Wonderland?
Yes.
Yeah. Like the
Lewis
Jabberwocky?
Carroll. Yeah. Right?
I
don't know.
Yeah.
I can't read.
The Bandersnatch isn't in the film.
'Twas Brillig when the shiny toves did Byre and Gimble and the Gaves.
Gell. Yeah, it's from one of those. It's from one of the Lewis Carols.
Yeah.
Either way, the cover of the Bandersnatch
Tales.
is, of course, as you've seen, it's readily available online. Is my rather distended anus with the and I'm looking over my shoulder, which is rough because it's hard to get a shot of your anus and your face in the same frame.
Right.
But she did it.
She did it.
My stepfather has a prolapsed anus, by the way. If you want to, I can get you guys
part of a support
group.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'd love to.
Because I would assume when they pulled the El Paso jar out that
things don't snap back immediately. No, things
and
don't.
It come out? The inside of it come out with the jar?
It was kind of like when you suck on a bottle and you get that suction going in your, and you can get like a weird sort of vacuum feeling, and things didn't bounce back immediately.
And by that you mean they have not bounced back.
They have yet to bounce back.
Is that why you wear a diaper?
That is among several reasons I wear a diaper.
That's tough for the kids.
It's
you
tough for the
got to
kids.
admit, when you bend over and they see the top of what is a diaper?
What is an adult male diaper?
They are going to have some things to say about that, you know?
Well, that's why I have the Avengers on them. Because the kids like comic books.
Other than anal connection, was there a connection that you and
find it?
Nadia had that was not connected to her causing you pain or anal stretching?
A profound love for this country what we can offer here, I think, and
But like she's back in Russia. I mean, she's got the
has
citizenship,
left.
so she can work in the U.S., but she's back in Russia.
she
like
has left. That is true.
spending those dollar bills.
Yeah. Which is all hers, and she made it, and that's fine. And yeah, so we had our various things we could talk about. Not a ton, but she liked to be read to occasionally. She'd sometimes doze off, but we had some things we could meet on.
What did she ask you to read from?
Mostly her fan mail.
Because she couldn't read it herself. Got it.
That's correct.
Wow.
You're still managing her Instagram account, is that right?
That is correct.
Feels like that's not right for you to. She
That is
sends you the
correct.
photos and you post it and you do the filters
Do
and
the
everything.
filters, and I make sure she's properly hashtagged.
Okay.
Wow. A lot
Marriage
to
is a
unpack.
marriage
It's
is a
hard.
discussion.
It's the toughest job you're ever going to have.
All right. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to come right back into Listener's Love Lockdown. Is that okay with everybody?
It's okay with me.
Sounds great.
Can you please mop it up? This is like a brand new library. So like
I'm
if
so
you
sorry.
get wet marks on stuff,
I'm so
we're going to
sorry.
get charged.
I have a couple. I have a couple
Why don't
of
you
extra
bring it-
diapers in my satchel. If you'll give me a second.
Oh, God. It's so sad. I don't know why I'm laughing.
What a rare mood.
You see what you've done?
I am not responsible for this.
Oh, but you are.
God.
There's a smile on my
Just let it sit there and soak.
for the whole human race. Why, it's almost like being in love.
Hello from the Magic Tavern is a fully improvised comedy chat show set in a magical world hosted by a wizard, a talking badger, and a guy from Chicago who fell through a dimensional portal. That's simple enough.
Simple as pie. It's like Cheers in Middle Earth, or It's Always Sunny in Narnia.
This week, they're doing a special book club episode where the hosts, a barbarian and a talking flower, read Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice.
Ooh, now
That
I'm
sounds
interested.
Up my alley.
They drink wine and try to understand all the Earth stuff.
We promise it's the only podcast you'll listen to this week where a wizard tries to figure out if he's a Lizzie or a Mr. Darcy.
Listener, you're totally a Mr. Darcy.
Thank you. My quiet reserve has got you titillated.
Some guests that have been on recently include Paul F. Tompkins as a satyr,
Lauren Lapkus as a genie.
Sean and Hayes as mole warriors.
Jordan Klepper as a phoenix.
You can start at the beginning to follow the whole story or just jump into any episode that sounds appealing.
Check out Hello from the Magic Tavern on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. Welcome back to Womp It Up. You're here with Shardog and the Wompster.
Oh, that's our drive time handle. Shardog and the Wompster, whopping at
This
ya.
is a segment we call Listeners Love Lockdown. You guys are writing in, asking real questions, and we're giving you real answers. Now, reminder, we are not professionally trained. We have no insight other than life lessons and street smarts. So
We
take
got
it
a man in an adult diaper.
with a grain of salt. Soak in every surface that his mouth comes near. All right, here we go. First
Hi guys, it's
question.
nice to be here.
Oh, God.
Hey, Wompsters. I'm wondering if you can give me some advice, soul guidance to help me love my career. I am currently
Ooh, this is a good one for
So
you,
important.
Mr. Vibe.
So important.
Okay.
I'm currently a PhD student in a health-oriented program. I'm doing well enough and getting it done. However, I was only a few weeks into this program when my dad died. Oh. He was my best friend. Oh. When I lost him, I totally lost my way, and I'm not sure I have gotten back on track yet. Oh. In the months following his death, I did not have the energy to fake anything, including investment in my career. It didn't feel important in my current life context anymore. My life changed into something unrecognizable in a day. And eventually, I couldn't help but wonder if I should circle back to my unspoken goal of becoming a doctor. I never thought I would get into med school and never seriously considered it, as I was a late bloomer and didn't find my passion until after undergrad. After pushing through the worst days of my life, rejection doesn't seem that scary. Also, going through what I went through with him in the health system forced me to realize a lot about myself. At the same time, I've been a broke PhD student for a few years now and don't know if dream chasing is practical anymore.
Of course it is.
Hold your fucking horses,
I
man.
can't stop.
Maybe I
Gotta
should
do
just
it.
take the path right in front of me.
No, sir.
For what it's worth, I've been thinking about this every day for a few years now. I'm already finishing the pre-med courses now as a side hustle while also writing my dissertation.
Give me a break.
Just in case.
This guy's killing it.
I think this is a lady, but
Okay.
there are certainly easier paths to take. So doing pre-med and also finishing his or her dissertation. Sometimes I feel the advice, find your passion, isn't practical, especially when you have bills to pay. But maybe I should. What do you think? Listener, you've lived 100 lives. Marissa, the world is yours. I'm often too embarrassed to talk about this, but I have asked a couple friends, family, and a therapist. None of them are surprised by this realization, and they are supportive, but I'm not sure they see the arduous path ahead. Lots of late nights and cheap dinners. What else goes well on Digiorno? Also, Marissa, what do you want to do with your life? Do you still feel called to Hollywood? Thank you so much for the laughs and happiness you guys deliver. Your bodies and humor be banging. Sincerely, Secret Double Life, Nerd Edition.
I'll tell you what goes well on Digiorno, and that's a thick slab of passion. And
Big greasy passion.
there is no doubt in my mind that you have been called by a greater power to be a doctor. I am familiar with doctors. They happen to be angels on this earth. And we need more of the people who are called to this profession, as it is a calling.
All of my favorites on my phone are my doctors.
100%.
You have a lot of
You have a
afflictions.
lot of doctors, none of which have been able to
It's
figure.
It's not all of them. There's six doctors, and then my mom.
That's right. So you got to go for it. I mean, you already know that.
Yeah, I don't think you're actually asking the question. I think you just want that extra little boost of encouragement. And I think if you've got the wherewithal to get your PhD, keep going, get that MD, especially
do
if
it.
you're already in pre-med.
You know what I'll also say? I don't know. Listen, the PhD, I don't know how far away you are from being done with this, but in Essentialism, my new obsession, this book, which I fucking love, and I do believe you should read it as well, because it's all about distilling your life to what is most important and getting rid of everything else. And one thing they were saying was, human beings are more likely, if you've sunk money into a failed thing, like a failed company, you're more likely to stick with it. It's like directly proportional to how much money you've put into it. But actually, better the moment you realize, I'm on the wrong path, just get out of it. Get out of it. So I don't know how far you are in getting this PhD, but I also wouldn't say it would be a terrible thing to go, fuck it, I'm on the wrong path. Switch paths, get into med school, and put all of your passion there.
What about you in Hollywood? Is that over?
You know what it is? It's really interesting is that I have been letting things evolve, and I'm realizing that I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And that's dispensing this type of hashtag authentic advice to people that I couldn't do in Hollywood. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not going to be the next,
What?
Oliver Hudson. I'm not going to be the next, Will Smith. That's not going to be me.
Are those are the two choices?
And that's okay, because I'm doing my own thing. So who cares what anyone else thinks? What do you know? You know in your heart. What does your heart say? Go for it. We know you're going to be able to do it.
You're definitely able. You're going to be able to do it, no doubt. Will it be hard? Yes.
Yeah, but it'll be worth it.
Would it be harder to not do it?
Absolutely.
Yes. What would your dad want you to do?
I think your dad probably, most people would be pretty psyched to have a kid for a doctor. And it's hard to lose a parent. It's really hard to lose a parent. And I'm sorry. And I know that kind of can leave you feeling a little adrift. But I think you follow through. If you're on the doctor track, stay on that doctor track.
I think the loss of something or someone also can make things feel really cloudy.
Well, it's
then-
grief. That's grief. Is just something you have to go through.
But then often after that comes a very strong clarity. And you shouldn't let the work you've already put in get in the way of what you know that you're supposed to be doing.
I'm also going to say that having lost somebody dear to me, I remember saying to somebody, I just wish I could ask them what they think about this thing, because everybody in our lives, serves a certain purpose. And your dad being also your best friend was probably, I'm assuming, somebody that you would call up and go, hey, Dad, what do you think about this? And they'd say, go for it, honey.
Yeah.
Go for it. Because if you're a good dad, you're all about saying, hey, you can do whatever it is you put your mind to. And I remember thinking when that person was gone, I'm like, well, I want to call them and ask them what they think, but I can't. They're not there. And somebody said, you know them so well. You know what they would say. They live inside you. So in a way, ask them and listen, because they will tell you what they think.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Go for it. We
Go
believe
for it.
in you. And will you keep us informed and let us know how it's going, please?
Also, they have really nice scrubs these days that are very well tailored.
You can get a fitted one.
You can get a
they-
fitted one.
They look very, very nice.
Yeah.
I was in urgent care around 2 a.m. this morning, and I was struck by how form fitting the scrubs were.
All right. Great.
How many nights on average are you in urgent care?
Oh, 3 tops, 3 a week tops.
You get better sleep there than you do at home. Is that right? You feel safer there?
I feel safer. I just know that there's trained professionals if something goes wrong or something leaks.
All right, we have one more, and it's more of an update than it is a question.
All right.
Hello, Marissa and Listler. I think I was the first asexual person to write into you guys, and I just want to say that hearing those ace positive messages the other week nearly had me in tears.
Oh.
I didn't realize how much that support would mean to me, but I'm feeling a lot more confident in my identity. Thank you for bringing this conversation onto the podcast. Also, as an update, I recently started going out with an amazing guy and managed to tell him that I'm asexual. This guy, this absolute angel, held my hand and told me it was okay and that we could figure it out together. I'm giving you credit for at least part of the immense joy in my heart. I love you gals so much. Keep womping up those jams.
How about what happens when we get #authentic with people?
Yeah.
That's why
great.
I came on this podcast, because I knew I would be. Why are you sighing?
All right.
That's just how I breathe.
Let's get into Spotlight on.
This fucking guy.
If you want to submit a question for Listeners Love Lockdown, just send them to wompupthejams with a Z at gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys. We love your updates. We love pictures. Let us know what's happening with you, and we'll do our best to say hey back.
All right. Is it time
Yeah.
for Spotlight on?
Yeah. Can't wait to know what you're going to.
Mr. Vibe. I don't know why I'm calling you Mr. Vibe, considering we are absolutely the same. Wait a second. How old are you?
I'm going to be 23 in a couple of years. I am.
So am I. So am I. Ding, ding, ding,
You
ding.
figured it out?
Bang,
No,
dang, dang
you're
with
not
the trolley. Yes, we
No.
were in the same class since kindergarten. I'm 22 to 23.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's older than I thought you were.
Great news. That's great news. Okay, all right. There's some pieces of information I can use.
Stands
That's
to
why
reason.
you're on this podcast, is to help me know how old I am.
You know, we have friends for a season or a reason, you know?
Where'd you get that from?
It was on a pillow I couldn't afford.
True or false? You've been banned from the teacher's lounge.
Well, true, but with an asterisk.
Which is what?
I would rather not be accosted while I'm eating my lunch, so I may be banned myself to a certain extent as well. It was a mutual banning.
True or false? Somebody made t-shirts of a close-up of your anus, and during a teacher's night out, they all took pictures wearing them and posted them on the Marina Del Rey Public High School Instagram.
And then folded them into, they rolled them up and then put them in a t-shirt cannon, which they fired at my windshield, shattering it, which is rough because it is very hard to get a replacement windshield for a 97 Elantra.
But all of this has not deterred you from your dream, which I actually think is really commendable. Because
Teaching is the noblest profession. With all due respect to our friend who's trying to be a doctor, there's a lot of money in being a doctor. There isn't a lot of money in teaching.
No.
It's about building lives and shaping passions.
And do you feel like at the end of the day, ceramic has been thrown at you, people have hacked into your personal accounts and used that information against you, and at the end of the day, they've stolen your shoes, right?
Yeah, that was why I was pointing at my shoes.
At the end of the day,
Or where my shoes should be.
does it still feel worth it to you?
It does, because teaching's the toughest job you're ever going to love. Yeah.
If you could say one thing honestly to your mother, to Shelley Vibe, and there would be no ramifications, what would you say?
I love your dreams aren't mine, you.
What did you just say?
I love you.
I heard your dreams aren't mine.
No, I said I love you.
I'm going to ask you one question,
Agreed, disagree.
and nobody else is going to hear it because we don't have anybody listening to this piece of shit podcast.
It's just the people that write in. Just those people.
Okay.
If you could do anything with your life, what would it be?
Dance.
What?
Dance. Oh my God.
What kind of dancing?
Modern.
Modern.
Yeah.
Like the kind where you just kind of push off each other, or off an invisible
Where
wall.
you can't tell if people are dancing or if they're just stumbling into each other. That kind of thing.
That kind of dance?
Predominantly improvised. Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. That is not going to be feasible for you. So what's your
because
number
of the-
two?
Maybe you could be
What's
like,
your number two?
Hey, maybe
Teaching.
it could be in a moment, like in a Momix situation. You know, the people that like put their bodies together in weird shapes
That's
to make
Mum
the
and
Eiffel,
Sean's, but I think you're right.
Eiffel Tower.
This guy's anus doesn't work.
It doesn't
Nobody
matter.
wants to go to see somebody
If he
dance
puts a
who's going to
El
Hershey squirt all
Paso
over
jar
the floor.
up inside of it before he goes out, then he could just put a unitard on top of that. It's not going to
and
pop
boom,
out.
I have a hook.
Let's get real, okay?
Put the jar the other way in, and then if an ass blast comes, it'll go right into the jar, and afterwards he'll just go into the toilet and dump it right out.
Problem solved.
But he can make, a safari.
All right. Hey, again,
Okay.
I got to follow my own advice. I encourage our listeners. I'm going to encourage you. You have got to follow your dream, okay? We don't
Thank you.
want you here.
Oh.
Nobody wants you here. Your
Right.
kids don't want you here. Your students don't want you here. Your mom has asked you repeatedly to move out.
Yeah.
Nobody wants you.
Well, it's hard on a teacher's salary, but yeah. No, I hear what you're all
What's
saying.
your next step?
A painful one. Most of my steps are pretty painful.
What is your next step towards your dream? Let's inspire some people. What are you going to do to get towards your dream of being a modern dancer?
Buy tights.
Buy tights, a simple
There we
thing,
go.
because you look at this long road, it's made up of many tiny steps.
Yes.
Buy tights.
Yeah.
I want everybody out there listening
To buy
to
tights.
buy
Find
tights.
what buy tights means to you.
What tights mean to you? Let's all make a pledge to ourselves. We're going to buy some tights, some figurative tights. Hey, think about this. Maybe put in a reinforced panel and whatever tights you get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a good
Like
idea.
what they do on the Tour de France. You know how they have those butt pads?
Yeah, no, I'll need that, but I'll need like a sort of something absorbent in the back and then something soft right underneath that because of my prostate issues.
That's right. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Tyler Vibe,
Mr. Vibe, if you don't mind.
you'd think I'd say I'm sorry after all this, but that's not what I'm going to say. I'm going to say you're welcome. You're welcome for coming on this podcast and being brave enough to say to us what you really want in life.
Thank you.
I am inspiring to so many people.
Okay, we got to wrap it up.
And-
this is so ridiculous. You've been listening to
And I-
Womp It Up. We're so happy to have you.
I accept
Tell your
your
friends.
thanks.
Subscribe and rate this podcast.
For inspiring you. Hey, if you shit on one of these chairs,
That's
you gotta
what
clean
she
it
said.
up.
I'm doing everything I can.
It's not enough.
Hey, Wompsters, we just want to dedicate this episode to the memory of a very special man, Chuck Dauble, a.k.a. Chuck D.
He was one of our favorite people to see old school UCB. He's a real part of the heart and the fabric of the UCB, and he will be terribly missed. Chuck, wherever you are, we love you, buddy.
Struggling to find the perfect vacation home?
Well, if you keep getting lost and sidetracked online like I know I do, then you need VRBO.
They do the hard work for you, matching you to the perfect place to stay every time.
From condos to cabins, places with gardens, grills, or hot tubs, they have got it all.
Even castles, guys.
Ooh, and you know what I love about it too? Reviews from real people that tell you,
What the real deal
the
is.
real deal is. Download the VRBO app today and put a stop to frustrating vacation searches.
Let VRBO find a home that matches you.
Hey, this is Arnie from the comedy podcast Hello from the Magic Tavern, a chat show I host from the magical land of Foon with my co-hosts.
Usador, the Blue Wizard.
And Chuck, the shapeshifter.
Most weeks we interview adventurers,
Wedding planners.
Ambulatory trees.
but this week we have a special episode.
I am so excited to learn about the Earth lore contained in Pride and Prejudice.
We're going to do a book club of Pride and Prejudice.
And you said this is a well-loved book on Earth, right?
Yeah, it's one of those books that people love or were forced to read, or more likely it's one of those I'm going to get to it's.
And some of our most beloved guests are returning to read the book with us and enjoy some drinks and food over book club.
We have Flower, we have Crom the Barbarian.
And Germ.
You know who they are.
Maybe you don't give a crap about what an academic thinks about Jane Austen, but don't you want to know what a wizard and a badger think about it?
Not enough spells.
Not enough grubs.
Not enough sword fights.
Whether you love Pride and Prejudice or have no interest in reading it and just want to listen to a book club go really off the rails, you'll enjoy this week's Hello from the Magic Tavern.
We shall defeat this book.